Colleagues, when this, to the bill. Colleagues, when this session opened, our own speaker told us about the recession, and it meant that Oregonians were going to have to suffer through some very tough times. We all agreed upon that. Little did we expect that one of the first bills would make it even tougher on a few. Faced with the prospect of record unemployment and record budget deficits, we are taking time to consider a bill, the sole effect of which would put a 60-year-old family business virtually out of business. And again, I applaud my colleague from Salem for wanting to preserve farmland. But the goal could have been achieved without the loss of these jobs. And without sending a message to business that you can't trust this government to keep its word. Let me explain. Western Display started outside the city of Canby in the 1940s. The company puts on displays of fireworks for each and every one of our own communities. Rose Festival, Toledo Summer Festival, to just name a few. Western is a part of every one of our community, especially around the 4th of July. The company might be where it started today if it hadn't been that the city had grown too close. And the city did grow too close. And Western, on government asking it to, it's my understanding, moved. So the government asked them to move because you're getting too close because we have restrictions with your type of business. So Western did move. And Western obtained the permits that they needed to run the business that's been explained here. Of course, except the one. And by the time that we asked Western to move, storing aerial fireworks, and again, this is aerial fireworks. This is not some little thing you get at a corner stand during the 4th of July. This is the big stuff. So Western came and asked this body for permission to do so, since it had been there since 1985. Permission to let Clackamas County decide if Clackamas County wanted to keep this business in its present property. I repeat that. Permission to let Clackamas County decide if Clackamas County wanted to keep the business in its present property. We gave that permission for Clackamas County to proceed, and it's my understanding that only 13 members voted no. Clackamas County went through the land use process. It's also my understanding that not one single neighbor came in to object during the public hearing. Clackamas County approved, provided that the business made some improvements that the county wanted. The company did make those improvements. We find ourselves today with some members wanting to change their mind and take away the permission that has been granted by this body. This bill puts special new conditions on Western that would ensure that the business will close. And that, colleagues, I don't believe we've ever done. We have laws to come into play when we take land use permission away. Under those laws, businesses and counties have permitted and been able to stay where they are currently located. In the past, when we've taken permission away of those existing statutes come into play, we do allow that. It's called grandfathering in. We even did that under Measure 49, letting permitted developments stay in place. We have never imposed special conditions on a business, let alone conditions designated to cause a business to close. This bill, in my opinion, is terribly unfair to one business. But the bill is also unfair to Oregonians who are counting on us to create jobs for them and for their families. What troubles me the most, colleagues, is that this bill sends a message that maybe you can't trust us. We need businesses to invest in Oregon. The governor has worked hard to attract businesses and keep businesses. Your regional economic development has done the same. But businesses will not move here if they learn that after they go to the trouble to get permission, And that's what has happened here. They got permission, not only locally, but from the state, to remain where they're at, that we strike that down with a stroke of a pen.
Representative Buckley yields.
Thank you, Representative. Today, we're going to vote on this bill, but this bill is incredibly pointed. It's going after one business, and it's extremely unfair. This could have been resolved, I think, in a palatable manner, and we could have worked something out. We have chosen not to do that. Again, when we vote on this bill, remember what you're doing to 11 families, family wage job families. Remember what you're doing to the people that work temporarily for this firm during the summer. With that, colleagues, I urge your no vote on House Bill 2375.